I have a very nice Bible that I'm going to show here for you. This is one of the highest quality Bibles and most beloved classics that are out there, and it is the Cambridge Bible's KJV Turquoise Reference Edition. This one is in black goatskin leather. So it is a really nice, beautiful Bible. I'll let you look at the back of the box here so you can see the features. Feel free to pause the video if you'd like to look at that in more detail. There is the ISBN number. The box that this comes in is a clamshell box, very easy to open, close, get the Bible in and out of, so I really like that. I didn't see a retail price on the box, but these Bibles will cost around $180, $200. Sometimes they'll even cost more than $200 depending on what website you're looking at. Now, not all the Bibles I highlight on my channel are this expensive, so I'm going to show in this video what you're paying for, what makes this Bible so nice. But I just want to say I do also really enjoy, and I try to also promote Bibles that are more budget-friendly Bibles. So I've looked at a KJV on this channel that is only $10 on CBD, and that is actually a really nice, affordable Bible just to have to carry with you everywhere. Very readable, although the paper on that is really thin. You'll see that this Bible has wonderful materials, and it is extremely readable. But there are other Bibles that you can get, obviously, that are less expensive. I will even show you an edition of this Bible that you can get from Church Bible Publishers that is less expensive than this. But let's take a look at the Cambridge edition of what they call the Turquoise Reference Edition and what makes this so nice. You can probably tell just by looking at this right now that the cover, the grain on this goatskin, and this is a goatskin cover, is just tremendous. It has a lot of character to it. It is perimeter stitched on the outside there. It has the Holy Bible stamping on the front there. That looks really nice. So the way I would describe this with the raised hubs and that design there, it has the crest of Cambridge, is just extremely classic looking. So you are paying for something that is classic. And along with that, talk about classic, when you look at the card here from Cambridge, it talks about them being the oldest publisher in the world. The press's first Bible, printed in 1591, was an edition of the Geneva Bible, the translation that crossed to America with the Pilgrim Fathers. Thus was established the renowned Cambridge tradition of Bible publishing, still unbroken after more than 400 years. So part of what you're paying for, yes, it says craftsmanship here, is the tradition, the name of Cambridge. And I think many people out there that love good quality Bibles know of Cambridge and very highly admire Cambridge Press and the Bibles that they have produced for centuries. So you are paying for the name partly, but there's a reason for that. There's a reason they have such a good name, not only because they've been around for so long, but again, as you're looking just at the materials here right off the bat, excellent quality. What makes this goatskin cover so nice, though, isn't just that it looks nice, and it is beautiful. It's really, though, the build quality of this cover and of this whole Bible. So that's another thing you're really paying for with a Bible like this. This is edge-lined. So you can see that edge lining here where the liner of the Bible is tabbed into the text block here. So that just adds some extra strength, and you will tend to see that on Bibles that have higher quality covers. And this does come with a paper that tells a little bit about edge lining and the craftsmanship that goes into making an edge-lined Bible. It does have a stamp here that says it's a goatskin leather cover. I'm not sure what the liner on the inside here is, but it is very nice. It's probably some sort of a leather. I'm not sure about that. I think that Cambridge used to have more of a synthetic, shiny liner to their Bibles. I'm not really familiar with previous editions of the turquoise, but this looks to me like it is probably leather or something that looks a lot like leather, but I'm really not sure what that's made out of. So the build quality and the materials are second to none. You are getting really, really nice build quality with this Bible. This is just going to last a very long time. So not only is the outside beautiful, not only is it a great build quality to it, but you're also paying for the design of this. And it's just that classic Cambridge design. This one has black cover with 2 red angle cut ribbons that are double-sided satin. Some Bibles have a lot to them in terms of their color scheme, but this is just really simple with that black cover, red ribbons. Those are the, look like golden red head and tail bands there, right there. And then this gold gilt on the side with red under gold art gilt. So that has just such a beautiful, simple, classic look to it. Another neat thing about the design of this Bible, in the back here, you will see a concordance, 3-column concordance. But I think this map section is really special. And what's special about it is that when you look at the index, it is color-coded. So one thing you're definitely paying for is the color-coded map section here, because I would imagine it costs a lot of extra money to print this section with all these colors. And then the maps are beautiful. I'm not sure how I would describe what they're printed on. It actually is kind of like a somewhat glossy cardstock, but it is extremely nice feeling, high quality feeling. So some people really don't like maps on anything that is glossy at all, but I think that these feel great. And again, when you have that color-coded index with them, I think you're talking about a really nice map section for those who really enjoy utilizing maps. This is one of the best Bibles to read from, in my opinion. Now, this is the King James Version, and the turquoise only comes in the King James Version. But if you do like the King James, or you want to have a King James Bible on your shelf along with other translations, this is absolutely one of the best Bibles to read. This font is so bold. It's nicely spaced from line to line. It is a quite large font, actually. It does have pronunciation for certain names, but that classic verse-by-verse style in this Bible, I absolutely love it. This is the New Testament here that I'm looking at. And you'll see that it has red letter text for the words of Christ. And that red, as many people say in Cambridge's, is really, really nice, because red letter Bibles aren't liked by everyone. A lot of people love them, but there are many people that don't like red letter because of the inconsistency of the printing of the red ink. But in the Cambridge Bibles, generally speaking, you're looking at a really nice, rich, deep red that is easy to read. And along with that, you are looking at a really nice paper here. Part of what makes this so readable is the opacity of this paper, and it is incredible that this is a lighter paper, 28 GSM, but you can see here that there's not a lot of show through there. So that just causes this to be a very readable Bible. Even though this is such dark print, you're not seeing a lot of show through. So I can't say it enough. This is just absolutely wonderful to read out of. And you're really getting all of that in a Bible that is not overly sized. I mean, I think some Bibles, if you're going to have that large of a print, they can get pretty hefty and heavy. But this one really is not bad. It's a little bit above average, possibly, a little bit bigger maybe than Bibles that you would call the most portable, but it's still quite portable, easy to carry around, and when you open it in your hand, it has a really good enough size to still be able to carry in one hand. So I wouldn't call it really a portable Bible. The Concord would be more portable, the Cambridge Concord, but this one is still, for the size of the text, really good size. So if you're liking the looks of this, but you say, I don't know that I'd want to spend close to $200 for something like this, let me show you a less expensive alternative of this text block. And this is a Bible put out by Church Bible Publishers. So they actually print the turquoise text block, the Cambridge Tuquoise, in their Bibles, and you can see here it's very similar. There is more margin space on the sides, which some people would actually like, but it does make it a bit of a larger Bible than the Cambridge Tuquoise. It's also a little bit thicker. The quality of the materials is not as high as the Cambridge, and the look of this is not as elegant. It really doesn't have anything noticeable as far as art gilt underneath the gold. There might be, I think, some brown that they put in there, but it's nothing as noticeable as what you're getting with the Cambridge with that red there. But you're still getting that really nice text block that I was talking about. The paper is still pretty opaque, not the high quality paper of the Cambridge, but really quite nice. And this costs about $75, and it's still a leather cover with edge lining. And they have different leathers that you can get at Church Bible Publishers. So if you wanted a less expensive option than the Cambridge brand, check out Church Bible Publishers. But I would say that the Cambridge is worth getting if you want the highest quality edition of this Bible. So as I've been saying, when you buy Cambridge Bibles, you are getting the highest quality. And I would say that Cambridge Bibles is one of the 3 highest quality Bible publishers in the Bible world right now, aside from Bible rebinders, who also do amazing quality work. But let me just show you some other high quality publishers and compare the turquoise to those. This is an Allen long primer. So this Allen Bibles also produce really high quality Bibles. You may have heard of them. If you watch my channel, you've heard of them. And there is the Allen logo there. Their design tends to not have raised hubs. It's more of a flat spine, sometimes a curved spine. So they lay very flat. And this King James Version long primer is a design that I think was done in the 1950s. The turquoise was designed in the 1920s. And you can see, looking at these two typesets, that they're both really nice, really readable. This is around a 10-point font as well. The text is a little bit more squished together, but you do get more words on a page, I would say, with the long primer. Another interesting difference is that the turquoise has italics for supplied words, which is very typical of King James Bibles, whereas the long primer does not have italics for supplied words. So just to give you an example here, you can see some italics there in the turquoise. And what I like about the italics is it does show you more what the original language looks like, because those italicized words are showing you they're not directly in the original, they're just implied by the original language. Some people don't like that the long primer does not have that feature. However, there's more uniformity of text in the long primer, so you get that more consistent typeset in the long primer as you're reading through. So there's advantages to both, but they're both very classic with the double column, verse by verse, center column reference format. Another Bible publisher that is really high quality, you can probably predict what I'm going to say if you watched my videos, would be Schuyler Bibles. This particular Schuyler Bible is not a King James version. It's actually a New King James version. But they do have a King James version of this that is called the Canterbury. So there's actually a lot of similarities between these Bibles. They are both double column format, 28 GSM paper. I would say the size and feel of them is actually very similar. So in some ways, this is like a modern equivalent to the turquoise because it was designed more recently by 2K Denmark. The footnotes are here on the bottom, and then at the very bottom, you have the cross references. Both of these have a red letter text, and I would say that the Cambridge is a little bit darker, bolder, rich red, but the Schuyler Quentel Bibles do have a very nice red letter text. And the print quality, the paper quality on both of these is fantastic. Schuyler Bibles tend to have the Jerusalem cross emblem printed on the front, and they also have these raised hubs on the spine, which is what you're seeing here on this edition of the turquoise. So I think these two Bibles actually right now, the 28 GSM Quentel, in many ways is a lot like the Cambridge Turquoise. The Quentel, I think, is a little bit thinner and a little bit wider, but there's something about the feel of both of them that's actually quite similar. I would also say, too, with both the Allen and the Schuyler Bibles, that they tend to be a little bit more elaborate in their color scheme and the choices that you have for colors than the Cambridge Bibles. But the Cambridge Bibles just have such a nice, classic, simple, elegant look to them. They do have some other colors for Cambridge Bibles, but the color schemes, as I said, are not necessarily as elaborate as what you get in a Schuyler. Or here in the Allen Bible, you see these ribbons, really unique light green, and then the liner here is a navy blue with a green cover. So you get a lot more elaborate and diverse color schemes with Allen Bibles, and I would say the same as Schuyler with the gilt line there too. Same here on the Schuyler. Cambridge, just more simple. But there's something about that that is really nice, actually. So that is a look at a wonderful, classic, high-quality Bible, the Cambridge Turquoise Reference Edition in black goatskin leather. Thank you so much for taking a look at this Bible with me from a Frisch perspective.